So the topic that we are studying is error control coding, and we are studying linear block codes, and we have studied a type of linear block code in the last lecture, that was Hamming code. So today we'll be studying a new type of code, which is a cyclic code. So cyclic codes are also they're also a type of linear block code. That means they will be following all the properties of linear block codes with an additional property there. So they have an additional property of being cyclic. So with an additional property of being cyclic in nature. So what do we understand by this term cyclic? So suppose you're denoting any code that is V. You're denoting the code vectors are V0, V1, V2, and since the length would be n, so the highest order will be Vn minus 1. So suppose this is a code vector. I hope I'm audible. मैंने confirm नहीं किया if I'm audible or not.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, fine. So if this is a code vector V, and if I shift all the bits of this code vector by 1 towards right, that means here it has V0, V1, and the last term will be n minus 2, and the first term becomes Vn minus 1. So the new code, the new vector that is generated, this vector is also a code vector. So this means if you're shifting, so those codes whose cyclic shift also result in code words. So such linear block codes are called cyclic codes. Fine. Now, for example, suppose you have a code word, say the length of the code word is 7, so you have this code word. So now the other, if you have to check what will be the other code words, and if you shift this code word by 1 bit, that means a new code that will be generated would be 11001111. So this will also be a valid code word. So if these two are the code words of any data that is given to you, and if these two are the valid code words, that means such codes will be called cyclic codes, and they have to follow the other properties of linear block code, which is, we have studied several properties like its error detecting property, its error correction properties, its Hamming bound property. So they have to follow the property of linear block codes also. So now how do we represent cyclic codes? So they are represented in polynomial form. which means if there is a code vector, if we have to denote this code vector in polynomial form, we will be denoting it in this manner. Vx is equal to V naught plus V1x plus V2x square and Vn minus 1 xn minus 1. So in the polynomial form, it is denoted in this manner. So this is your code vector, code, and so therefore this is called code polynomial. And the degree of this code polynomial is n minus 1. So highest order is n minus 1. So,
Ma'am, shouldn't all linear block codes be cyclic?
no, they'll not be, all linear block codes will not be cyclic.
Ma'am, can you give an example of a linear block code that won't be cyclic?
So let's at the last lectures. We made in the last lecture we determined code vectors for all the cyclic codes. Right, so these are the different code vectors. So you can very well see if you look at C1 and C2. If you look at these two codes, C1 and C2, they do not follow cyclic code property. Are they following cyclic code property? Here 3 ones are in series. So if you are going to shift these terms, these bits, they are not going to be cyclic. So C1 and C2 will not be cyclic. But yes, C1 and C7, if you observe C1 and C7, they are cyclic. So, but when we talked about this code vectors, all the code words of this matrix were called code vectors. Right. So if we are taking all the code words from C0 to C7 or C1 to C7, let's not consider 0, 0, 0, 0, all zeros as a valid code word. Even if you take C1 to C7 as all code words, these code words will not be, all code words will not be cyclic in nature. So you have to choose few codes which will be cyclic. Okay. So let's come back to the present lecture. So how do we denote the shifted polynomials? So suppose you have shifted your polynomial by 1 bit, you are going to denote it by V1 x, and it is denoted as, when you're shifting it by 1 bit, the lowest significant bit will be Vn minus 1, and then it would be V0 x, V1 x square, V2 x cube, and so on. You will get the maximum term as Vn minus 2, xn minus 1. Similarly, if you're shifting it by 2 bits, it would be Vn minus 2, Vn minus 1x, V0 x square, and you will get Vn minus 3, xn minus 1. And similarly, if you will be shifting it by I bits, the generalized term would be, it would be Vn minus I plus 1 x, Vn minus I plus 2 x square, and so on, and V0 will be multiplied by xi, V1 would be multiplied by xi plus 1, then the maximum or the coefficient of the maximum order term would be v n minus I minus 1 x raised to the power n minus 1. So this is how we represent a shifted code word. So now there is a property of cyclic codes. And that property is, if you are going to multiply, if you multiply a code word by the term x raised to the power I and you divide it by xn plus 1. So whatever remainder that you get is equal to the shifted code word. So this is one of the property of cyclic code words. All the cyclic codes will be following this property. So let's verify this property by taking one value. So let's take I is equal to 1. Let's see if we get a shifted 1-bit shifted code word or not. So we also write this remainder. If you will be reading books, you may find it to be written as xi vx mod xn plus 1. So this means the term mod means, you must have studied this, the term mod means the remainder of the initial term. So let's verify this. For I is equal to 1. So if I multiply, we know that if I multiply Vx by x into Vx, if I multiply it by x, we will get V0 x, V1 x square, V2 x cube up to the highest most term was Vn minus 1, xn minus 1, which will become n. Now, all the binary codes, they follow modulo 2 addition. So if I add the term Vn minus 1 and V 2 times, so plus Vn minus 1 plus Vn minus 1. So we are adding similar terms. Vn minus 1 modulo addition Vn minus 1, this will be 0. Right? So if I add Vn minus 1 2 times and if I rearrange this value, that means x Vx, if I rewrite this value, I take this Vn minus 1, write this value as initially Vn minus 1, V0 x, V1 x square, V2 x cube plus Vn minus 2, xn minus 1, and there will be a term Vn minus 1. I'll be taking common term as Vn minus 1 and then the brackets will get 1 plus x raised to the power n. Now if I divide the left hand side and right hand side by xn raised to the power 1, LHS. If I divide it by this term, so we know that if I divide it by this term, we know that this term, since it is not the factor of xn plus 1, we'll be getting xn plus 1 in denominator, that is, we'll be getting xn minus 1, V0 x, v1 x square plus vn minus 2 xn minus 1 upon 1 plus x raised to the power n, whereas vn minus 1 will be one of the factor of 1 plus xn. So what is the remainder? If I take the remainder of left hand side, so the remainder term will be only the numerator portion of 1 plus xn, because this will be the factor. This term is the factor, if you remember fractions, and this is the remainder which lies in the numerator of 1 plus xn, x raised to the power n. So the remainder which is left is vn minus 1 plus v naught x plus v1 x square and if you observe the polynomial v1x, if you observe this polynomial, you can very well say that this is the shifted one bit shifted polynomial of 1x. So I can rewrite it as v1x. Similarly, you can verify it for other shifted polynomials. So like the only thing that you have to remember over here is whenever we divide or we multiply and we perform addition, all the additions are performed in modulo 2 format. So all the additions are or XOR additions, modulo 2 additions. So this is how we plot a shifted cyclic code. So this is a very important property. The second characteristics of cyclic code is they are generated with the help of a code generator polynomial. Like you have studied a generator matrix, in this case you will be having a generator polynomial, and the order of this generator polynomial, the highest degree would be n minus k. That means which is equal to the number of redundant or parity bits. This is equal to number of redundant bits. And how do we denote this? The generator polynomial is denoted by gx, and it is noted in this manner. So g0, g1x, g2, x square, and the highest order would be n minus k. Now suppose you have a data polynomial ux. We denote data polynomial by ux, data vector or your message vector, and it is a k bit vector. Since linear block code are denoted by n comma k, linear block code, even cyclic codes are denoted in the same manner. So we denote cyclic codes as n comma k cyclic codes. So from this we can verify that we can say that the code word length would be n. So that is why the highest degree would be n minus 1, since we are starting from x raised to the power 0. And similarly, the message vector, the length of the message vector is k, bit. So length of the message vector or the data vector is k. So we denote it by ux, which is denoted by u0, u1x, u2x square up to uk minus 1 x raised to the power k minus 1. And all the code vector polynomials, how do we obtain them? So Vx code word is generated by the multiplication of ux into gx, and we can see that the highest order of message vector is k minus 1, and of generator polynomial is n minus k. So therefore the degree of code vector polynomial would be, if you talk about its degree, it would be the summation of the highest order degree of gx and ux. So it would be n minus k plus k minus 1. So it would be n minus 1. And we have mentioned the same degree while mentioning the polynomial of code vector. Fine. And the third property of cyclic code is, whenever you talk about generator polynomial, so generator polynomial of any of n comma k linear block code will be a factor of x raised to the power n plus 1. So whenever you have to generate a cyclic code of order n comma k, so for that you always have to use this property, that it will be a factor of x raised to the power n plus 1. So let's do one example and see how a cyclic code is generated. So let me write down the example. So you have to generate a 7,4 cyclic code and find the code vectors for following data vectors. So the first vector is 1 0 1 0 and the second vector is 1 1 1 1. So how do we solve such problems? So first we have to find, we know the message vector, that means we know u1 and u2. So to determine code vector we need gx, right? And the property that we studied is gx is the factor of x raised to the power n plus 1. And from the numerical we can see that it is a 7,4 cyclic code. So therefore we can mention that n would be equal to 7 and k would be equal to 4. So we know that gx will be the factor of x raised to the power n plus 1, right? And x raised to the power n plus 1 would be x raised to the power 7 plus 1. So if you have to write down the factors of this polynomial, I am writing down the factors directly over here. So it would be x plus 1, 1 plus x cube, and 1 plus x square plus x cube. Fine. So there are three factors of the polynomial x raised to the power n plus 1. Now, how will we identify our generator polynomial? We know that our generator polynomial is of order n minus k, and n minus k is 7 minus 4, which is equal to 3. So we have two vectors which have order 3 over here, whose highest degree is 3. So therefore we can choose any of these factors and we can assume them to be gx. Since we have to generate our code words, we can take any of these two generator polynomial. So let us take the code this as the, let's take
मैम तीनों का यूनिक नहीं आएगा हम लोग के पास आंसर, सॉरी दोनों का यूनिक नहीं आएगा आंसर।
हाँ, दोनों का यूनिक, बट यू हैव टू जनरेट कोड वर्ड्स। हमारे अगर आप ट्रांसमीटर साइड में ये वाला जनरेटर पॉलिनोमियल यूज कर रहे हैं, यू हैव टू इन्फॉर्म रिसीवर दैट द जनरेटर पॉलिनोमियल दैट वाज यूज्ड वाज दिस वन. So it depends upon the encoder which generator polynomial it is using, and similarly it has to inform the receiver. The channel decoder should know that which which generator polynomial was used to encode these message vectors.
Is there some condition of preference?
No, there is no condition. You can choose any one of them. You only have to check that the highest order is 3.
Okay, ma'am.
Or n minus k. Okay, so let's choose the second value. So gx for the second case is 1 plus x square plus x cube. And if we have to write down the data polynomial for u1, so u1x can be written as it is 1010. So u1x, so let's solve first part. u1x will be written as it is u0, which is 1. So it is a 4-bit vector. So let me write down the complete formula for this. So u0 plus u1x plus u2x square plus u3 x cube. And since it is 1010, this is 1010. The only term that will be remaining is u0 plus, sorry, it will not be 1 plus x square. So this is your u1x. So if you want to find out the code word for this data, you have to write down, you have to multiply u1x by gx. And when you will be multiplying this, so multiply u1x by gx, you'll get, first let's multiply 1. So it would be 1 plus x square plus x cube. Now let's multiply x square. It would be x square plus x4 plus x5. Now we earlier said that we will be doing modulo 2 addition. So if there are any two terms are common, so their addition would be 0. So we have x square term in common, so we'll be making them 0. So only binary. So suppose if there was one more x square, then we'll be including that x square. But right now there are only 2 x square. So x square plus x square will be, even number of x square would be 0. Odd number of x square would be written as x square. So since there are even number of x square, they will be cancelled. So we'll be rewriting this equation as 1 plus x cube plus x4 plus x5. So how will we write our code vector? So the coefficient of x raised to the power 0 is 1. So here we write down the coefficient. For simplification, I'm writing down. So coefficient of x raised to the power So here we write down the coefficient of x raised to the power 0, x raised to the power 1, x raised to the power 2, 3, 4, 5. So what will be the highest degree? Since we are talking about vector polynomial, the highest degree would be n minus 1. So n is 7, so highest degree would be x raised to the power 6. So the coefficient of x raised to the power 1 is 0, x raised to the power 2 is 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. So this is your final code vector which is generated by this data code 1010. Now please find out the vector for the second code word 1111. So U2 is 1111 and we are taking Gx as 1 plus x square plus x cube. Find the value of Vx. Do it yourself. No, the answer isn't correct. So the answer that was mentioned in chat box, that's not correct. Has anybody else solved it? Let me ask people. So Manali, what will be the value of U2x? How are you going to write it as a polynomial?
1 plus x plus x cube plus x square plus x cube.
1 plus x plus
X square plus x cube.
Plus x cube, that's right. So next, Sandeep, can you tell me how are we going to write down the value, or how are we going to find out the value of code vector polynomial?
First we multiply gx in u2x.
U2x will be multiplied by gx. So what is the value that we get? So you have to multiply it in 1. First you have to multiply 1 by the whole polynomial. It would be 1 plus x square plus x cube. Then you have to multiply x
with 1 plus x cube plus x to the power 4.
So you're telling me the final answer?
Ma'am,
X plus x cube plus x to the power 4.
X plus x cube plus x to the power 4. That's right.
X square plus x to the power 4. plus x to the power 5,
That's right.
x cube plus x to the power 5 plus x to the power 6. Then
Okay. Then
even
what is the next
even
step?
and if even number of term come,
Are common.
then make it
We'll-
0.
We'll be making it 0. That's right. So let's count the values. So let's take them one by one. So 1 is the single element. So we'll not be ignoring it. X square कितनी बार आ रहा है?
दो बार आ रहा है.
So हम लोग उसको इग्नोर कर देंगे.
0.
So this will be cancelled. X square 1, x square 2. Cancelled.
x cube 3 times.
X cube 3 times. So हम लोग 2 को cancel कर देते हैं. Third will be copied.
x4 2 times.
x4 2 times आ रहा है, so we'll be cancelling it.
Cancelling it. x5 also 2 times.
x5 also 2 times, उसको भी cancel कर देते हैं. So the remaining terms are
x6
x plus x6. So let's
Yes, ma'am.
rearrange them in the increasing order. So it would be 1 plus x plus x cube plus x
plus
six.
x6.
ठीक है? Then how are we going to write the polynomial v2? How are we going to write code vectors?
Coefficient of x to the power 0 x
So that
square
is-
x
हाँ, इस तरीके से लिखेंगे तो कोड वेक्टर बता दो फाइनल.
1 1 0 0 1 0 0 1.
ये कितने लेंथ का हो गया? 4 plus 4 8. ये ज्यादा हो गया है. 1 0 will not be here.
0. Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So is it clear to everyone how we going to solve it? ईशान आपको कोई डाउट था यहाँ पे?
मैम नहीं, आई रीटाइप द आंसर, वो मिस कैलकुलेशन था.
अच्छा ठीक है. It is 1 1 0 1 0 0 1. Fine. So this is how you obtain the code words. Now if I write down the value of message vector and code vector, we know from this numerical, so u was 1010 and 1111, and the code word for that was 1 0 0 1 0, and for this it was 1 1 0 1 0 0 1. So now if you observe v1 and v2, they too are following cyclic property. So if you shift them, I can say that v2 x is equal to v1 x. How many times it is shifted? Three times, I think. They shifted 3 times, so they are following cyclic properties. Other thing that you observe from these two codes, you will observe that here the code word, data vector and parity bits. You cannot identify data vector. You cannot identify data vectors from the respective code words, right? Like data vector was 1010. You cannot identify which one is the data vector. So data vector and parity bits are inseparable. And since they are inseparable, we call such codes as non-systematic cyclic codes. So whenever we use this method to generate our code vector, we obtain non-systematic cyclic codes. Fine. So the next topic, I think we'll be starting it in next lecture. So the next topic is we'll learn how to generate systematic cyclic codes. Okay. So is there any doubt in today's lecture?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I think then we can wind up today's lecture. We'll be starting with systematic cyclic codes in Tuesday lecture. Okay, thank you, class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, which book we have to prefer?
See, I'm following Muralidhar Kulkarni for this. Information Theory and Coding by Muralidhar Kulkarni. Or otherwise, I mean, you can refer to, इसमें brief में given है the last two chapters of BP Lathi, communication, analog and digital communication by BP Lathi. You can refer error controlling codes chapter of that book. So if you want numericals for practice, I do not, this book Muralidhar Kulkarni is not available online. The soft copy is not available. So what I can do, I can give you numericals for practicing. And I'll be fine. And I'll be giving you the final answer so that you could practice and verify the methods.
And ma'am, which chapter of BP Lathi?
BP Lathi, I do not remember the chapter number. The chapter name is error control coding.
Yeah, chapter name.
Chapter name is error control coding.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me see if I have the chapter number is 14. Error correcting codes. Okay. Thank you, class.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
मैम ये कौन सी बुक थी? मैम थोड़ा
ये बीपी लाठी है, ये जो सर ने अपलोड करी हुई है क्लासरूम में.
ओके,
सर ने इसे क्लासरूम में अपलोड किया है. तो इसका चैप्टर 14 आप स्टडी कर सकते हैं फॉर एरर कंट्रोल कोडिंग पार्ट.
ओके, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू.
हाँ, यू वेलकम.